What college should you go to? Hey, what's up everyone? I'm EGR, this is EGR Life, and we're going to talk about how to find the college that best suits you. Okay, so I want to start this video off by saying if you don't know what you want to major in and you don't know what you want to do with your life, don't go to a four-year institution right out of high school. You're going to incur a lot of debt and it's not going to be worth it. Now, if you really want to go and you have the money to do it, by all means, but I would advise against it. So instead, I recommend going to community college. I myself went to community college and it was a great place to learn. I saved a lot of money and I found out what I wanted to do there. It's a lot cheaper and you can get your general education out of the way without incurring a lot of debt. It'll give you time to explore your interests and just really learn what you want to do. I myself started as a business major, then I went to accounting, then I went to IT, took a lot of classes. If I went to a four-year institution, I would have been in a lot of debt. But starting in a community college, I saved a lot of money. And that's where I learned I wanted to be in computer science. So my second recommendation is going to trade school and learning a trade. Trades make great money, they're great job security, and especially in this AI new world, we don't know what kind of jobs are going to be out there in the next 20 years, and it's really hard to automate trades. And you could always go back to college, and this time you have the money for it. Regardless of your choice, never stop learning. Now going back to finding which institution best fits you. So like I said, I graduated from a community college. I spent many years there, then I transferred over to a four-year institution where I got my BS in computer science. Also, what helped me choose my university was this book that I read actually in community college. The book was called David and Goliath, Underdogs, Misfits, and the Art of Battling Giants. Specifically, the chapter how Caroline Sachs really influenced my decision on where to go to college. And I graduated, so it was a good fit. And I learned a lot. I want you to keep in mind that UCLA did a study and found that more than half of Americans that start in STEM drop out in the first or second year of university. And the chapter starts out with a quote, and it says, "If I had gone to the University of Maryland, I'd still be in science." This quote giving us some insight that maybe she chose the wrong school and she still would have been in what she loved to do. Caroline was the top of her high school class. She excelled in calculus and AP courses. She even attended a junior college while she was in high school. Needless to say, she was an exceptional student. Her dream was to attend Brown University, an Ivy League school, one of the top in the world, and the University of Maryland was her backup. So Malcolm Gladwell discusses Herbert Marsh's big fish, little pond theory. At an elite institution like Brown, where you're a little fish in a big pond, you might struggle due to its competition despite its prestige. At a less prestigious university like the University of Maryland, where you're a big fish in a little pond, you'll have a more manageable experience and a more positive experience due to its less rigorous program. Elite institutions are a lot more challenging, leading to struggles with academic self-esteem. Caroline was suffering from relative deprivation. She began to compare herself to those around her. She felt as if she didn't fit in. She began to lack self-confidence. Her willingness to tackle problems diminished. You may also know this as imposter syndrome, and these events caused her to eventually drop out of STEM. A study found that top students from less prestigious schools often outperform mid to lower tier students from top schools in their postgraduate career. So the moral of the story being that if Caroline would have gone to the University of Maryland, she would have had a more manageable and positive experience. She would have stayed in STEM, she would have graduated, and in some cases had a better postgraduate career than those at top universities. I think this story is really important because it shows the pros and cons of going to top institutions. After listening to all this, I think the best route to choosing your university is for you to take a self-assessment of your university choices. This is the university self-assessment questions that you should ask yourself. Identify your interests and abilities. Understand your strengths, weaknesses, and level of commitment. If you're planning on going to a top university, you have to make sure that your commitment's going to be all the way there, that you're going to be all in, that you're willing to sacrifice. Now, if you want to have a lot of fun at university, maybe your level of commitment to your studies won't be as high. So maybe try going to a lower tier university. Nothing wrong with it. Dream versus backup universities. Dream universities offer prestige and resources, but are highly competitive. Backup universities are more financially and academically accessible, but less prestigious. So with dream universities, there's going to be a lot more resources. Most likely there's going to be a lot better connections there. But the drawback is it's going to be highly competitive and very rigorous. The pros to backup universities is they're most likely going to be a lot cheaper, and their academic program won't be as rigorous. But I'm going to be honest, the best connects are probably going to be at top universities. So explore the campus life. Consider visiting campuses or researching them online. Pay attention to the local area, weather, living arrangements, and available activities. For instance, if you really like to surf, maybe go to a college by the beach. No brainer, right? Pay attention to the weather. If you really hate hot and cold areas, factor that into your decision. Financial considerations. Factor in tuition costs, especially out of state or private schools, living expenses, and potential financial aid. If you're going to go to a college that's in a big city, I'm going to tell you that the living expenses is going to be a lot more expensive. The apartments, a lot more expensive. If you go to school out of state, it's going to be a lot more expensive. If you go to school out of the country, a lot more expensive. Private schools, extremely expensive. And think about the potential financial aid you're going to earn. Does that make a big difference? Make sure to factor these into your decision. Review the university. Look at the acceptance rate, graduation rates, and alumni success. It's going to tell you a lot about the university that you're going to. Email university counselors with any questions you have. You can always find them on their school site. Make sure to factor this assessment into your decision. I think it'll help a lot. And we're going to end this with a quote from Henry Ford. But before we do, make sure to like and subscribe down below and comment below. Now here goes the quote. Whether you think you can or you think you can't, you're right.